All right, well, welcome everyone. Welcome to this month's episode of the Instructor Community Call. My name, as always, is Kyle Rosenthal. Really appreciate your time being here. This is our April edition. Yes, so we are going to be talking about AI Certs with Ben. Ben, I've known for a number of years. Some of you will have come across him because he's certainly been around our space for quite a while in the Microsoft world. If you're if you're one of the Microsoft instructors, but he's going to have a chat about AI certs and some of the opportunities that as instructors you might have along these lines. So that's the speakers for today. Is going to be myself and Ben, who's going to be who is the Chief Commercial Officer for AI Certs. Before we go too much further, a little bit of housekeeping type things as we normally do around this stage, right, is just with the Microsoft updates. So these are really just updates, just a reminder, right? So with the tenant provisioning process, so there is, potentially some password change requirements for tenants. So you may be prompted to change, or your students may be prompted to change their password when logging in for the first time. There's also some other ones which might be some single-use passwords to be able to log in with. Just depends on how it's set up as how the tenants that we get supplied are actually set up, along with multi-factor authentication. Now, with the multi-factor authentication, obviously we're not redeeming Azure passes anymore, but MFA may still be required on some tenants when the students actually go to set up their go to log into their accounts for the first time. So just kind of be aware of those if they do crop up, so you're not going to be surprised. And that last one as well is also something just to make sure you are definitely aware of. So any of the courses that are 7 days, that have a restriction of 7 days, it is in the documentation around the course, but it does mean that you need to be aware of it, right? So when the students log in for the first time, they have 7 days to be able to complete the labs using those credentials. They can go and redo the labs, of course. With that, they just need to take out the, not take out, but close out their session and start a new instance, and then that will then give them the ability to be able to restart again. It does mean that if, say, for instance, you are running one of those classes, if your class goes for more than 7 days, you do need to be aware of this, right? So you need to make sure you manage that how it is in your class. So say, for instance, if you're doing multi-week, then maybe, and I know it's not ideal, but maybe it might be that you have, all the labs at one point within the course, right? So again, not an ideal way to be able to do it, but it's sort of like, we're restricted as to how those tenants actually work. Now, that doesn't apply to the Cloud Slice tenants or the Cloud Slice labs. Those Cloud Slice labs, they're used for just that particular instance. So therefore, you don't have that 7-day period, so if you've got those over multiple weeks, then that's fine. But there is some of those courses where you build all the way through, that there is going to be that restriction on it. So as I said, as long as you're aware of it, then you're good to go. And you know how to know that you have to manage it and how to maintain it. All right. So newly published courses. There's a few new courses that have come out in the last month or so. Most of these are sort of those short courses, right? So any of the shorter one day sort of courses. But they're going to be things that are potentially going to be new items that you've joined. If you join a few of these together, then you can get multiple day courses out of them using it that way. But yeah, so and there's new courses coming in all the time. One course that was going to be that was actually retired for about 20 minutes or so was the DP305, if I got that number correct. That has now been extended out until the end of this year for the course. So, like there was a moment where it was going to be finishing at the end of March, but Microsoft has decided to extend that out. So, good news, I guess, if you've got that scheduled in or had that on the schedule initially. So you'll still be able to deliver that. All right. So let me bring in Ben. So Ben, if you want to come across onto the stage.
I'm here.
Yay. How are you?
Good. I'm in this little box. So, Kyle, good to see you again. Good to see somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, no, it's and we've got a good turnout of folk this week, which is good as well. So and that was didn't even that was before we even were able to promote that you were going to be here either. So if people had known, we might have had even more. So, but welcome, Ben. It's really good to see you. I appreciate your time and coming in to join us. Let me just get rid of my screen share here so we can see a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Us. There we go. So welcome. As I said, thanks for joining us. As I said earlier, so there's probably a few people who know of your name. You've certainly been around the training industry and the education industry for quite a while. But for those that don't, do you want to give us just a brief rundown of who you are and where you've come from?
My life history in 1 minute. You guys can find more on LinkedIn, obviously, but as Kyle said, I've only ever worked in the ed tech industry. I sold my first company, Scholars.com, to Skillsoft back in like 1997, and then have worked with a variety of companies. But I may have crossed paths with you when I was 4 years at Microsoft, running their training and certification groups, the exams, the courses, the Microsoft press books. Then I left. Worked for Global Knowledge for almost 6 years, managing all their portfolios, including Microsoft, AWS, and Google. So I recognize some names from that. And then, of course, prior to my current role, I spent almost 6-7 years at Skillable, work with Kyle and Kristen and Frank and the team. And then in that role, Chief Product Officer, Chief Revenue Officer, Chief Strategy Officer. But I did leave Skillable a year ago because I went to the board and said I was fascinated by AI. And I said, things are going to change radically with AI, and I want to get deeper into it. So I ended up leaving Skillable, though I loved them, and took a 6-month sabbatical, learned everything I could about AI, and then I landed at AI Certs, and that's where I am today. Kyle, I have this weird title, Chief Commercial Officer, which is a European phrase, I would say, focused on sales and marketing, and that's where I am right now.
Perfect.
That's my.
That's your in a nutshell who you are and where you come from.
Red-haired, left-handed Canadian, if you guys can't tell. Out and about. Oh, yes.
So the reason I wanted to get you to come along today, because I know that there is that you're in the process of standing up the certification as well as training, training around AI certs. So I guess can you tell us a little bit more about, first off, AI certs, what it is and that sort of thing, and then when it would be, what it will, I guess what it leads to, and then we'll sort of maybe go into the opportunity for trainers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm pretty excited. And first, excuse my voice. I just came back from the GSV ASU conference out in San Diego, and I was there for 3 days and lost my voice. So I'm actually recovering from my voice. So you're getting the diminished version of me. But AI Certs, 40 plus certification programs focused on specific job roles and industries and how they're being impacted by AI. So AI plus for project managers, for product managers, for developers, for business analysts, AI plus for healthcare, finance, legal, all typically short 8-hour courses on what does AI mean for a person in that role. So as you can imagine, with AI impacting so many roles and industries, a lot of companies are looking for, how do I make this relatable to their employees? Or if I'm a job seeker, how do I stand out? I'm looking to become a product manager. I'm trained to become a product manager. Are you what I call AI ready? This is what AI Certs is focused on. We're actually a certification issuing body going through the ANAV accreditation process, ISO compliant. We do for each of these job roles and industries the standard job task analysis, skills blueprinting, objective domains, write the exam, write the self-paced e-learning, and write the instructor-led coursework. So all these certification programs are available instructor-led or self-paced. And the reason why I call them certification programs versus courses is they include in the cost an online proctored exam. So we're actually marrying together the training and the testing into one certification program. So I'm going to pause there and say, Kyle, did that make sense? Because I ran through it pretty quick.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So the idea is like essentially it's going to be like it's an entire solution, right? Like so whereas like say for instance a more traditional certification process would be that you would do the course and then as a follow-up you may or may not go and do the certification for it. But what I'm getting is that as part of this, it'll actually be, because it's all as part of the same cost to be able to do it, that essentially you're looking for more uptake in that certification process. Is it going to be proctored at the end of the day of the course, or is it still going to be a separate separate process for the student?
Yeah, great question. And you got it absolutely right, which is combining the two together, right? So you don't go over here and then go over here to take the task through for metric. It's through one single solution, one single cost, and then you self-schedule your online proctored exam. So it's a 24/7 proctoring solution, humans, and you schedule when you want to take your exam. Okay.
Okay.
So in terms of low, medium, high stakes assessment, think about this as medium stakes, right? We're not doing, show your ID and all the rest, right? But it is that rigorous certification accreditation process that we're gone through. And like you said, the whole goal is getting people to get that certification, that micro credential in the end. And it's also something that is job role focused, but vendor neutral. So we don't do this technical training. This is, the company's already picked its AI tools and technologies, and maybe they're rolling it out, but they need to help the people in the different job roles inside that company. How does AI make a difference to them? And then we use, example technologies and example tools. So if you're a project manager, here's 5 tools that project managers are using around AI. Oh, if you're a business analyst, here are 5 AI tools that a business analyst is using, really making it relevant to that job role.
Oh, and so therefore it's probably like, because it's more focused to those particular job roles. It's similar to and I think you hit the term on the head, right? It's that micro credentialing. So therefore, people are being more specialized rather than saying this is what AI is in general. It's more, this is how AI is relevant for what you're doing. This is the tooling that you can use to be able to do, or not, well, the application in that particular role that you're doing. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
So,
yeah.
And yeah. So how about I share my screen and let's talk about why I think there's a big opportunity for instructors. Does that work?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
All right. As you guys know, live demos are always the most interesting ones to do. So
Well,
See,
I don't know if you noticed, but actually I had forgotten to put your name on one of our slides, so I live edited it as we were going.
I,
So
I like how Kyle makes it feel like it's last minute. Like, hey, let's go get in and see what happens. So, all
it
right,
was
so let's.
no, it was like yeah. In fairness, I had edited the other slide. It was just one of them.
All right, so um, you guys can see my screen, Kyle.
Yes.
AI
Yep.
Certs. Yeah. So a couple of things as we tee it up. One, website aicerts.ai. This is the show we were just at. This is our homepage, the ASU CSV Summit. But what we're doing, right? So after 18 months of product development, we actually went to market in January of this year. We're already at 170 employees. So we're privately owned. We're part of a portfolio of companies, and we are now going to market and recruiting 3 different types of partners and delivering our courses, these certification programs, again, both instructor-led and also self-study e-learning. Now, in terms of instructor-led, you recognize all the partners, right? Lumify out of Australia, Netcom, Ascendient Learning, right? The new name for Exit Certified, Sunset Learning. In Europe, it's Fastlane. You know, all the traditional players. Hopefully, wrapping up Global Knowledge shortly, and things like that. And also going after training companies to become partners, academic institutions to become partners, and also, interestingly enough, industry associations. In fact, just prior to the call, I was finalizing a partnership, and it's around internal auditors, and there's 220,000 of them, and they need to be trained on AI. What it means to an internal auditor, and there's a bunch of different types of roles. Everyone's looking to get trained. So as we're looking for partners, we're also looking for trainers to help deliver those courses. Now, one thing I didn't do, Kyle, is to kind of go through all the different certification programs. So I said they're job role focused, technology neutral. What are those job roles? What are those industries? You can go to the website and have a look, but there's a lot of very diverse different types of certifications: ethics, prompt engineer, educator, project manager, sales, right? There's AI plus sales, AI plus marketing. If you're a product manager, if you're a healthcare professional, and we have those traditional IT roles as well, right? Ethical hacker, security level 1, data, AI plus architect, network, cloud, right? Even quantum computing, weirdly enough, right? And we're at about 50 job roles in industries. So industries being like AI plus healthcare, finance, and legal. So you can imagine we need a broad array of trainers, because not all trainers are going to cover all these different topics, but we also have partners that are offering all these courses. So, example, Netcom offers every one of these courses at least once a month, right? And they're looking to find contract instructors. Also, as a side note, Netcom announced they're hiring 50 full-time instructors across their portfolio, Microsoft, Cisco, and also including AI Certs. So one is, if you're already active in these areas, then potentially you may be interested in becoming what we call an AI Certs certified trainer. And this is what that certification looks like. It's standard like most other vendors' training certification programs. You have to demonstrate that you have instructor experience. You take the test, you pass it with 70%, just like a regular learner. Then you go through, complete the instructor trainer guide, or the AICT, the Certified Trainer Program Guide. No cost to become certified. You get the course for free, you get the exam for free, Now you're a certified trainer. And when you start to teach, there's train the trainer. And there's also a test teach that we do with you and one of our master instructors before your first delivery. And you can see here, just like other vendors, there's a whole private trainer portal. You get access to the e-learning course. You get access to the student course. You get access to the instructor-led, the trainer version of the course as well. So you get access to the student self-paced e-learning, the student course, and the trainer version of the course. Inside the trainer version of the course, instructor guide, instructor notes, cheat sheets, train the trainer, and a bunch of resources specific around what trainers need. We're already close to 500 trainers in the program. So it's extensive. Now, again, if you think about all those topic areas that we're covering, right?
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. There's, people that are doing, the legal, and there's some people that are doing healthcare, and some people that are doing the more traditional IT. So I'm going to stop in 1 minute. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, no, you go.
Damn it, I was going to take a drink of my water. So, one, no cost, right?
Yep.
The other thing, and this is pretty interesting, the larger partners are opening up their schedule for other partners to resell seats. And like Lumify and Netcom, partners can become can resell into their existing schedule, the one that Lumify and Netcom offers, and get a 50% discount.
Right.
And this is pretty interesting for partners, but we're also exploring whether or not authorized certified trainers, this is, I think, a potential source of revenue. If they can refer a person into a class, we could pass along to them the 50% rebate back to that person who got the student to sign up. So one is you can be a contract instructor and be used through as a pool for all the other partners. You become a full-time instructor, obviously with all these different partners. You can start delivering these classes on your own and become a partner as well. And if you become a partner, you could also instantly have a full schedule and just simply sell into other people's schedules. So you do the sales and marketing, and you only do the delivery around the classes that you specifically want to deliver. Does that make sense, Kyle?
Right.
The way I explained it?
Yeah. So that was actually one of the questions that I was going to ask. I think you've answered it, but I'll just make sure I've heard it right. Is because it's something I know that being part of the MCT community, that it always comes up of if someone wants to be able to be an independent trainer and train on their own, they have to do it through a partner. What I'm hearing is that for this, as a trainer, if you're an independent trainer, you could in fact also become an authorized partner as well. So you could actually sell and train your own process. So if you're going into one of your customers as an example, you can be authorized to deliver on your own.
Yes. So it's like classic. You can become a one-man partner with the spin of you can actually become a one-man partner and selectively deliver the classes that you want, and then resell into the broader schedule offered by Lumify and Netcom, and instantly have a full schedule of things that like healthcare and legal that maybe you never would deliver yourself, but the audience that and the companies that you go work with, if you could sell one seat, these instructor-led seats are selling for $9.95, right? So resell a single seat, well, there's $4.95 in your pocket, or something like that. So it's an interesting twist.
And for the various different certifications, because as you pointed out, there's multiple ones, because they are more targeted to industry to role, that sort of thing. Are you thinking that, say, for instance, someone who's doing one of the specializations for, say, delivering into the health professionals as an example, that an instructor, in order to be able to do that, would they be better off having some healthcare background, or is that something that as long as you have the knowledge of the tools and how can pick up how to apply things, that would be okay? Or
Yeah, so here, I'm going to stop sharing my I don't want to have this being a super pitch session, though I guess it is. I always recommend that you have industry knowledge if you're delivering that course. And the reason for why is you're going to be delivering to an audience of healthcare professionals, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Now, you may be able to do the dance and all the rest, but you want to be careful that you're pretty comfortable with the healthcare industry when you're going to deliver the Healthcare Plus certification. Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't, right? But it's the same thing that a person who has a financial background probably is not equipped to do AI Plus legal, because AI Plus legal, the people making it are going to be the lawyers. Now, in addition to all those job role and industry ones, we do have the standard AI Plus for everyone certification, and the AI Plus executive one as well. Those are any person who wants to either understand how AI is generally helping people from a single contributor point of view, or the executive is for leaders who need to understand how to use AI for strategic planning and managing people and stuff like that. So foundational courses for two different audiences as well.
No, I figured that would probably be the case. I just thought I just want to make sure that was clear for anyone who was thinking, hey, I can jump in and do this. That there's definitely benefit in having at least some background in whatever the industry is that you're going to be going into, like that you're going to be doing that specialization into. Okay, all right. Look, that sounds like there's some really good opportunities for instructors to be able to expand out, and certainly for independent instructors who might be looking for something else to be able to add to what they're doing. I think there's some good opportunity there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the interesting thing, especially for the trainers on the call, is this isn't a big step outside of what you already do. If you're teaching the Microsoft courses or EC Council or CompTIA and stuff, these are all adjacent, right? So these are all designed to complement existing IT vendor certifications, right? So before they go down the Microsoft path, this gives them what's in it for me as a product manager. One is not hard to get. 2, the certification, the training for trainers is free. 3, as we discussed, there's some additional twists around one-man authorized training partners, the ability to resell both e-learning and instructor-led seats. And many of the trainers, myself included, I'm a WordPerfect certified trainer back in the day. We all like to collect badges, right? So hey, I was the first certified instructor in Canada. So
you show me your WordPerfect and I'll show you my CNE.
I'm also one of the original Microsoft certified people. My badge number, my ID number is in the thousands. So
there you go.
I'll dig it up. But the goal of this was, one, A, I wanted to see Kyle, and B, I think this is something you guys should go and have a look at, just to go and check it out. The form is on the website. You guys can email me. I'll put my contact information in the chat, but it's ben.watson@aicerts.ai. But I think there's a good opportunity. And as the demand grows, right, we need a growing number of certified trainers. Our goal by the end of this year is to have 500 partners, right? And you can imagine, given all these industries, right, there's a lot of training companies in all these different industries, and they need to train people on, finance if they're in the finance industry, but they also have an audience that is also receptive to other types of training as well, right? The co-pilot training and stuff like this. So it's a great starting point for companies and individuals. It's a great add-on for companies already going down that path. And because this audience is obviously so skilled, we just added to all of our courses a module on agents and how agents are being used in specific job roles. And starting in 6 months, we're going to take the entire portfolio and duplicate it. So there will be AI plus project manager, AI plus project manager agent. The difference being, one shows you how AI augments what you do and can help you. The second one, the agent one, is how agents are automating key workflows and processes inside that role. And depending on the maturity of the company, they may be going down the AI path, or they're maturing enough that they're also going down and adding on agents. So more stuff that's agent focused versus AI augmentation versus AI automation, which is the way I view agents generally. So just a lot of interesting stuff happening. And I think a good way for trainers, even just to keep on top of vendor neutral, job role specific AI knowledge.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's exactly what like when I was thinking about what, like, like having you on, that was the reason why I thought have you on is to have a chat about this sort of thing, because I think there is a lot of opportunity in, and instructors now are, a lot of instructors as well as partners are looking to expand out what the what opportunities they've got, and what they've got for offerings and that sort of thing they can put out. So so I think there's a lot there. So all right, well, I don't know, Benny, you open some questions if some folks have some questions.
Absolutely. If there's anything, I see in the chat.
Yeah. So I think the questions are in the chat. So James actually answered one of them for you.
Here we got one from. They're all coming in now. Let's do Joshua. Right? So three types of partnerships. It's very interesting. We are partner led, right? So we offer the courses instructor led and self-paced e-learning. The types of partners we're looking for is training companies to become authorized training partners, ATPs. Academic institutions are becoming academic authorized partners, or AAP. And we're also recruiting industry associations, right? So the Institute for Internal Auditors, the call is just on, becoming association partners. And these are all three types of partners that they go into companies and individuals to sell. Right, so some may go after, job seekers. Some may be doing corporate training or whatever. Those are the three different types. And then, what's been the general reception? Guys, I just came back from this academic conference. I lost my voice, and I was one of three salespeople in our booth. I could have had 6 people there, and we were 3 people deep in the booth. And the reason for why is there's such a critical demand right now for not general AI knowledge, but job role specific, so that you're AI ready, not technically trained, right? That's the vendors, software training programs and stuff, but how it relates to the person and how to use AI in that job role. And I'll give you an example. A couple of weeks ago, I was brought into, through a partner, a healthcare company here in the US, 1,700 employees. They rolled out AI, or as a ChatGPT, trained on all their internal documentations and stuff like this. They rolled it out. People tried it once or twice and never use it again. And they went back to the employees and they said, why didn't you use it? because you didn't make it relevant to me. Like you just said, like, here's this tool, go use it. I'm not even sure what AI is. You didn't give me any examples of how I, as a marketer, or AI, or I as a product manager inside this healthcare company, how I would use it. They're now going back and taking from these 50 certification programs and rolling it out to all 1,700 employees across 70 different job roles. And some are getting AI plus everyone. The managers are getting AI plus executive. And then where appropriate, they're getting the job role specific training as well. And they're trying to equalize everyone's knowledge and then really get them down into, this is how AI could help you. Oh, and by the way, here's the tools we're making available for you already as a company. So we're at 170 employees, right? Like we have 54 open job openings, right? Like we're growing quickly and we're partner led. And that's one of the reasons why we're growing so quickly, is going through those three different side of things. But I think you guys can appreciate, if someone, whether you're looking to be employed or it's already employed, if you can go and demonstrate that you're AI ready, that's a big distinction. And a lot of companies nowadays are like, look, we as a company need to be ready. We need to get our people ready. And this isn't like rolling out Office 365 where it's a generic thing, right? You can roll out a thing like ChatGPT, some kind of chatbot, but the way people will use it will vary based on job roles, and companies are picking that stuff up, very, very quickly. So as much as I'm the sales and marketing guy, right? So of course, this is fantastic. I actually think it really is fantastic. I mean, like, when I was at this conference, no one came to me and said, I don't see a need for what you do, right? I met with 9 deans, and one of them that day is like, we need to move on rolling this out to 10,000 students in our academic institution. Where's the agreement? Let's get going on this, because you're a micro-credential that I can easily add on to my academic programs, and all my academic programs need to be AI ready so that their graduates are AI ready. That's just the academic side of things. Yeah. I hear the same side from the companies. I need my people to be AI ready, to be fluent in AI, and then that helps me get them the technical skilling that they need. So I'm a little excited, as you can tell. So, and I do like the fact that Frank and others are like, we're perfect. Yes, first, we're perfect certified instructor with the template, the big template on the key. Like, you guys remember that? D-base. Remember all the templates we had? So
some may not, but I do. So there was another question from Doru, but Joshua has jumped in and helped with that, about a link for how to apply for the AAP agreement. So
no,
all right.
Yep. The nice thing, just to round it out on the support given to instructors and coming from Microsoft, right, and all the horrible changes that they're made in recent years, which I think have really destroyed the MCT program in many ways, is there's a monthly instructor meeting, there's monthly newsletters. We're putting into place, all the things that Microsoft, for example, has taken away, right? 1-year anniversary gifts, the jacket and things like that, because we strongly feel that we need both the trainers and the partners to be successful, right? And you can have all the partners in your world, but what partners do is sales and marketing. In the end, it's the instructor that makes the difference, right? Yeah. We are delivering dozens and dozens of these classes every month already. So we're getting the courseware better and better and better with every delivery. It's changing all the time because of the technology itself, but we're putting a lot of love on the trainers. And I think that's one of the things that's been missing for a while, is the feeling that trainers are a commodity and just not as exciting by, they can be replaced, or, they're just widgets. We don't
Right.
believe that here, right? So if you want to get involved in something that is really dynamic and ever changing, which is AI, in a bunch of different contexts, from job roles to industries, become a trainer, get access to the courseware, right, for free, get certified in whatever ones make sense, and now you have a great AI resource to use. Sorry, I'll shut up.
No. It's like that's good. As I said earlier, because I think it's there's some really good opportunities for trainers to be able to get involved and yeah, and like the add more strings to the bow, right? So which is what we're all kind of all trying to do in some way, shape, or form, is to expand out what we can do, get in and make sure we're busy. So I think it's great. Well, thank you very much, Ben. I really appreciate your time. It's been great to chat with you. It's been a while. So yeah, appreciate your time, and we should catch up soon.
Sounds good, guys. I will leave you alone. I'll leave the stage so Kyle can make fun of me and my Canadian accent. But I hope everyone has a good Wednesday or Thursday, depending where in the world you are. And
no worries.
I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Ben. All right. Let me get my share back up again. There we go. All right. So thanks again to Ben for that. Really appreciate his time. Hopefully, some of you have got some ideas about there, and I noticed that someone's already submitted an application. So hopefully Ben will be busy, but hopefully there's some good opportunities for you as well as the instructors. And that was the reason why I sort of wanted to make sure I got Ben in, was because I saw that there was some things that as instructors there's some routes for you to be able to get involved, which I wanted to make sure we promoted for us. All right, let's have a look then. As you all know, this is my favorite part of my favorite segment, apart from talking to people that I know. Instructor recognition. So let's have a look. Who have we got? Now let me just have a look. So I've grabbed up my people who are on the call, make sure I can do a call out for anyone that might be here. So we do have, we had our first person who delivered their first call. We had 201 folk that delivered their first their first course or first class on our platform. So congratulations. The first one is always that challenging one, right? But it doesn't really matter. Once you've done your first one, everything becomes easier right after that. So once you've got over that first nerves, the first hump of delivery, then well done. And then we've moved on then to those folk that have done 25 all the way up to 500 classes that have been delivered. So we had one person in the last month who has gone over the top and has delivered 500 classes. And as well as the ones in between. So congratulations to everyone for those for those deliveries. 788 badges for 563 instructors. So it's been a good month, a busy month. Let me go back to the right screen. Apparently I've lost where my mouse is. There it is. Okay. So recent milestones. And again, this is for the number of deliveries that you've made. Now, this is, or not deliveries, the impact that you've actually had on students. And I always want to call that out, right? This is how you can then see how many, altogether, how many students you've actually had an impact on. Now, always take that on board, right? That, if it's your first student, or if it's your 2000th student that you're impacting, you are making a difference in that person's life, right? Whether it's a promotion, whether it's something that in their work they've got there's an answer, a question they've been able to answer, there's a project they've been able to solve, there's something they've been able to do because of something that you taught them. take that on board. Like make sure that you appreciate the impact that you have had on the folk that are that have been in your class. And oftentimes we don't take that time to be able to do it. And it's when you get these sort of things come through, where you get a total of the amount of people that you impacted, that you go, oh my goodness, I did actually, like I have been doing things. I have been talking to people. I have, had that sort of impact. So again, whether it's your first or whether it's your the 2000th person that you've impacted, congratulations, really well done. I'm just looking to see if on our list of people that are here, if any of the folk that we've got listed on there are in there. I can't see on the list. So, but yeah, so congratulations and well done. All right. Our usual reminder then for the offers that are available. So, obviously you do have free access to prep for any classes that you have. So leveraging off our environments. If you're a Microsoft certified instructor, then you get access to the mock lab access, as well as the MCT All Access Pass. That's for our challenge labs. And if you're an AWS instructor, then you get access to the AWS or All Access Pass as well. So make sure that you apply for those. You apply for those using the skillable.com/offers to be able to get access to those offers. And also then the instructor recognition and the badging in classes and that sort of thing, or again, all can be found as part of that the offers page to be able to get through to. So I'm just quickly flicking into a different window. So you'll be able to, so make sure you go to skillable.com/offers. As well as that, we also do have all the other resources that are available. So you can go directly to your instructor recognition to see where you're at. So that's skillable.com/instructor recognition, or through skillable.com/instructor dashboard. That's your one-stop shop to look to see what your calendar looks like, what your classes are, and enter into them. And then if you're a Microsoft instructor, then keep an eye out on the skillable.com/mock. That's where you will find information about those new courses when they get released, as well as retiring courses. That's where, John, there'll be some more information as we have it. As well as that, we'll send it out, but on those fabric labs as well, or the fabric courses. So hopefully they'll be back soon, but we're working on that. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate the time that you have spent with us. Hopefully you've got something out of the last hour or so, and we'll see you next month. Thank you very much.